I'm Dr. Natalie Phillips, host of Just Connect, a show where we chat about connections through social media, learning opportunities, and through the people we meet every day. Join me every Wednesday on Facebook Live at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I am an audiologist, a business owner, an entrepreneur, and a connector. This life is about connecting for the right reasons and to the right people. I believe making authentic and true connections lead to growth, change, and impacting the world. All right. Hello, Facebook family. Okay, so I actually want to start off with some announcements. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you for coming on live with me. And I actually wanted to start off with an announcement. Hello, Leanne. Good to see you. All right, so I wanted to put up this event that we are doing. Let me just put this up here. So it is called Unbreakable, Finding Strength in Perfection. And it is September 6th and 7th. And I want to make sure that you guys all know about this because I am partnering with Sarah Moneras, who is the founder of the We Spot. And, we came up with this event with my really good friend, Kirsten Helgeson. And she is, let me back up. We decided to do this event because both Sarah and I believe and agree that we both have to celebrate the joys and the struggles in life, and it defines who you are. And so when I heard about what my friend Kirsten does, we decided to create this event. And so to give you a little bit of a background here, I'm going to see if I can kind of put the event link in here. I might have to try to do something else here. But when we got ready to do this event, all right, let me see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work. We actually decided to create this event based on what my girlfriend does. And her name is Kirsten Helgeson. And all right, there we go. I found the event here. Okay, I posted that in the comments here. And so she's going to do a hands-on project. And I'm going to take this down so that now I can see you here. And we'll put up my other things here. Sorry, I'm getting all situated. There we go. Okay, so she is going to do this event, and it's a hands-on project, and I put the Eventbrite link up in the comments here because Kirsten is the founder and CEO of Just a Girl, and it's a podcast, and it's having these amazing conversations with women. And, this particular event that I put up there, the Unbreakable event, it's not necessarily something that I want you guys to feel that if you're not like broken, that you're not able to come to this event because, with this particular hands-on activity that we're going to do, she's going to do this thing called kintsugi, and it is a Japanese form of art that repairs broken pottery with gold lacquer. And in philosophy, it's actually a celebration of any imperfections that are going on. And we mend these pots. And as we continue to mend these pots, this is how we grow because we are learning about our experiences that might wear us down or that shatter us. And we want to, try to hide these flaws and cracks when in actuality, everything that's part of your life, both the joys and the struggles, really defines who you are. And so everybody will walk away with their own kintsugi after we're done with this event. So I wanted to throw it up there, just remind people that early bird tickets are now going on and will end July 31st, but the event is September 6th and 7th, and would love to see everybody there, and if you're local in town. And it is only for women, so I apologize for the men who might be on here, but it is for women because I feel like it's super important for women to kind of bond together and to do these types of things together and be vulnerable together. And so I just wanted to do a real quick announcement on that. Okay, but today what I wanted to talk about is a little more about just pausing or stopping life. And, I have to be a little bit transparent today. And I actually threw up my back this morning. And I've had a problem with my back just this year. I have no idea what happened. And the last 2 times that I did it, I was out for like 3 or 4 days. I could not move. And I don't know if anybody of you had that type of experience, but oh my gosh, like it really debilitated me. Like I couldn't move at all. And so, I've learned to kind of watch the signs, and I had a pretty, rough weekend. I was running around doing lots of different things and helping out with things, and I could kind of feel like my back was getting sore, but I was like, okay, I'll just kind of go slower and take it easy. And I kind of am very careful to like bend at the knees and not bend over at the waist, things like that. But this morning I bent over to grab my computer bag and like race out the door, and oh my gosh, it went out. And I was like, oh dear. So I actually took my muscle relaxant that I have that luckily I was still at home, and I was a little bit slower, but I could move, and I think it's because I didn't really throw it out that bad this morning. But I went to work today and I saw some patients, and by like the patient right before lunch, I was kind of slurring my words a little, and I was like, I think I'm going to go home. I can't really form a sentence, it's kind of weird, and it's probably the muscle relaxants, and it never did that before, but the pain wasn't as bad, so maybe it kind of dissipated differently in my body. I have no idea. Anyway, so canceled my afternoon appointments, and I actually came home and slept for 2.5 hours, you guys. And so it made me think about stopping life and pausing life, and really trying to make sure that you know what's going on with yourself, the signs, and then maybe some things and some ways that we can all share together, ways that just are so important to pause and stop life. And good to see you, Anthony. Yes, I wasn't really like slurring my words. It was just like weird. I can't even explain it. I was just like, it took me a long time to get, words out. Not really bad. I mean, I was still fine, but I decided that it was probably not the best thing to do. So came home, slept for 2.5 hours. And so I'm totally awake now. And I was thinking about this topic about, pausing life and stopping life. And I really wanted to talk about it because, somebody had told me, before, if you go down, the dream does not happen. And I was told this because I was actually running around and I collapsed at a conference. And I know some of you who are on here heard me say that before, but it was crazy. People had wanted to meet with me. They wanted me to sit in on meetings that I didn't have scheduled. I had long nights. I was showing up for people, going above and beyond. And I don't want you to think that you should never go above and beyond, because that's the way some people like to do business and interact with relationships. But what I'm saying is, I literally collapsed, fainted, like blacked out, and hit my head, and it was crazy. And, I had to learn that, sometimes my body just can't take it. I know you guys see me on social media and I run around and I've got tons of things to do, but I have learned to listen to what my body tells me. For me, some of the things that I've learned to recognize the signs is that my body does get weak, or I get sick, or I get just really, really, really tired. The second thing is, I get grouchy, and I'm just going to be real, but I get grouchy. Like, I'm quick to anger, and I have a short fuse. And so I'm learning to really pay attention to some of the things that are going on. And I feel like, people have to be able to do this. Otherwise, it's just not good for you. And so I found 5 different ways that I wanted to share with you about how to take time out for yourself and create a retreat, or some place that you can retreat and relax to anywhere you go, because I know a lot of us are on the road and a lot of us have to keep going, and it's not always feasible to, take a vacation. Although I love seeing people take vacation, especially during the summer with family and places to go. And, it's so good to see that. But I know some of you can't necessarily take those couple days or that week long. And Anthony, it's good to see that you are on vacation and you're not traveling anywhere to do any training. So that's great, and let's see what you guys are saying. Leanne says, pause life because it will stop you if you're going too fast. Exactly. It's almost like something hits you like a brick on your head. And Anthony says, my body tells me to stop eating and lose weight, but my mind tells me to crash the buffet. I'm so with you. Just, I'm such a foodie and it's so bad, that I've got to kind of get back a little bit more on a healthier diet because I feel like what I put in my body really helps me feel better too. All right. So 5 steps today, you guys, that will help you take time for yourself and create a retreat wherever you are. Number 1 is establish a safe place. And when I say establish a safe place, it means, at home, it could be at home or it could be another space that makes you feel completely relaxed and at ease, and guarantee that there are no distractions. So like ringing phones or obligations or chores or family members or whatever it is, other than being in that space. Okay. And, when you're creating this retreat, I'm not saying that you have to sit there for an hour. It can be 3 to 5 minutes. This morning on Marcus Stone's show, The Daily Dose, he said he meditated for like 10 to 15 minutes. So it could be a little bit longer. And he pointed out that you should make time to do this, right? So number 1 is establish a safe place. Number 2 is set up a schedule. Set a schedule. It can be simple. Time that I want you to put in to feed your mind and also to feed your body. So consider about what you're putting in your body. Maybe it's something refreshing, maybe it's like a refreshing, water or sparkly water or whatever it is, or iced tea or whatever. Or maybe it's something calming. So refreshing or calming. Think about what you're putting in your body when you take this time and just sit, right? It could be tea, coffee, right? But set a schedule, set something up, and then also not only about what you're putting in your body, but what you're doing for your body. So whether you're a person that meditates, I'm actually not a person that meditates. If I'm going to sit, I'm going to sit just quietly, which doesn't last too long, but it still allows me to relax. Or whether it's exercise or whether it's just sitting outside in the sun, right? So consider about what you're putting in your body and what you're doing for your body. But you might soon find out that after a while, you might not even need this schedule, right? Marcus has actually had, my friend Marcus had a great idea yesterday on his show where he was setting a timer to go off and it would remind him to send a loving message to his wife or an encouraging message to his daughter. And my thought was, why don't you set an alarm for you to actually sit quietly for anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. That's what I was thinking, is use these alarms on our phone. We have our phones with us all the time. We have watches that connect to our phones. So it will remind you. And in your alarm, you can actually put words in there to say what you were supposed to do, rather than just an alarm go off. But the more you let go of trying to squeeze in everything in every little minute of your day, the more quickly I feel that you're going to have more focus and clarity and you actually will get real work done. So number 1 is establish a safe place. Number 2 is to set a schedule. Number 3 is to establish flexible goals. So I was talking with actually Josh O, and we were talking about ways that he might be able to step back a little bit. And he gave me some ways. I said, no. Let's get a little bit more specific on these ways, and let's actually put numbers in, or let's actually make attainable goals. So there's this thing called SMART goals. And I don't know if you guys know about that or not, but SMART stands for S is specific, M is measurable, A is attainable or achievable, R is realistic or relevant, and T is time bound. So when you make goals, make flexible goals, but also make SMART goals, ones that actually have some specifics that are attainable and in a certain time frame too. So, I encourage them to focus on maybe some SMART goals. But, you might again also identify new goals along the way as you're doing this. And so even if you don't accomplish goals, so let's say you set goals for yourself every day and you don't accomplish it, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. It is okay if you don't reach all your goals. For me, I use my calendar and I have things that I list that I want to get done that day. And you know what? If I don't get to it, you know what happens? I open that, edit it, and move it to the next day. So I'm constantly moving my list over if I do not get things done, and it's okay. To me, it's just a list of things I have to get done at some point, and I'm trying to, knock that list down. So give yourself grace. So let's see what other people are saying here. Leanne says, scheduling an alarm is a great idea. Eventually, you will look forward to your personal time out. Exactly. I feel like sometimes when you get a schedule or you get something going, eventually you're going to start looking forward to this, or it won't even become like, oh, there goes my alarm. It'll be something that's natural, right? Number 4 is let your mind and your body rest. So that means, you might have to unplug. You might have to unplug from technology. You might have to unplug from social media. You might have to understand that people don't really need an answer right away. I think we live in this world where, we're always on our phones, and we always expect, now that we can text people or direct message them, we always expect an answer right away. People don't need an answer right away. You guys, I took a nap for 2.5 hours in the middle of the day today. Nobody was upset that I did not answer any text messages or anything. So if you need to take that time, take that time. I feel like stopping or pausing allows you to look up, look around, right? And enjoy the little things, and take time to really try to reconnect with yourself and also the simpler aspects of life. Or even just do nothing at all. Even if your mind goes blank, I feel like that is great too. So that's number 4, is to let your mind and body rest. Number 5 is understanding that solitude is hard, being on your own or being by yourself just for a while, especially if you're an extrovert. It's hard, but it's worthwhile. So like for me as an extrovert, I feed off of the energy in a room and the people in the room, and that actually energizes me. So like I said, even if I'm tired and I go someplace and I've met with somebody, I leave a lot more energized because that's just me. But even as an extrovert, I feel like I still need to have that downtime. And pausing, not stopping life, but pausing, allows you to become a little more self-reliant on yourself, right? And thoughtful again. I feel like we all need to recharge at some point. Maybe learn to say no, or learn to say not now, or learn to say not this time, right? Number 5, you said too fast. Number 5 is be okay with solitude, Anthony. So thank you for taking notes. And I'm also going to put it up too. So let me see. Actually, I have a little graphic here. There we go. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Okay. So those are my 5 things: is establish a safe place, set a schedule, create goals, rest, and be by yourself. So everything that you do is not under delivering. So don't think that you're under delivering, as you have to know your own limits and understand when you actually need to take a break. It's not really stepping away or stepping back, but think of it more as refueling yourself. And it's not easy, but I feel like it is so important, so important. And it's so also important, like I said, to give yourself grace. So what I want you to do today is what I had talked about, set an alarm to do something. So set an alarm to take a break. Set an alarm and set yourself for 3 to 5 minutes. Maybe you'll have to set 2 alarms for the beginning of your break. So to just literally drop everything that you're doing, and then set an alarm for 5 minutes after that one to say, okay, you're done with that alarm, right? And maybe you can go to your car, or, your safe space or something like that, where you can actually sit. If you meditate. If Diane Uzelak, if you're watching this on the replay, she has some great meditation apps that she shared with us. And I'm going to have her maybe put that up there. I'll tag her, if somebody can tag Diane Uzelak, to come on in and to actually share those meditative apps that she uses. But I want you to set some time. Marcus said this morning, create the time, right? You have to create the time. All of us say, no, we're running around and we don't have enough time. But I want you to create the time to actually spend for you. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to just put up this right here, which is my YouTube channel. So if you've missed other episodes, just know that I do have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to Dr. Natalie Phillips. Go hit the subscribe button, number 2, and then hit the notification bell so that you can catch some of the new videos that I drop in there. And then also for those of you, let's take that down as well. I'm having a hard time. It's the Facebook right there. So I'm also on Facebook, which you are watching live for those of you, and on Dr. Natalie Phillips. Hit the following button. Make sure that you hit see first, and to turn your notifications on to know whenever I go live. So with that, I just wanted to thank you guys all for joining. Everybody have a good 4th. And I have to say, as an audiologist, I'm going to put that in there, protect your ears tomorrow if you are playing with fireworks or you're going to go watch something or a concert or whatever it is. So I'm going to throw that in there. Please, please, please protect your ears. Be safe out there. Have a happy 4th, and I will see you later. Thank you guys so much for joining me. All right, bye.